What's that noise? This is Pregaming. I'm Serena Morales. That's Mark Davis. Kevin Klein. And this is Pregaming. Good morning.
The fact that we wasted so much money on getting you a voice coach for that little bit was really a giant regret. We have to win a lot of money today to make up for that one. That's real money. See, it's funny because you and I have to use prop money, but in a few moments we'll bring our cappers onto the show, and of course they'll have the actual real stacks of cash, which hopefully we'll all be making today. Good morning. Football Sunday is upon us. It's Halloween Sunday, in case you can't tell. That is Serena right there, a.k.a. Jerry Jones. I am the owner of your Las Vegas Raiders, Mark Davis, and on me you see the successful coaching careers of John Gruden, Dennis Allen, Lane Kiffin, Norv Turner. They all still live on me as the ghosts of former NFL coaches. Soak them in. Look at them. Isn't that great?
Oh, my gosh.
Special effects, guys.
We're here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern giving you the best gambling advice we can with people who actually gamble and sometimes dress as NFL owners. Today, we've got our usual suspects joining us. Kenny Bets Big, Danny Brasco, a.k.a. Brasco Bets, plus the original six-pack. We got Callie Bunday. She will be joining us for our six-pack segment coming up momentarily. In the meantime, we are two
as we say around here. Listen, it's all bullshit. It's all gambling shows, pre-gambling football shows. It's all bullshit and filibustering and made-up algorithms, etc. Here, in addition to giving you real stats you can use to make money, we also have way more fun. And just wait until you see the loser costumes, the loser couples costumes being worn by Danny and Kenny Bets Big. As you know, they lost a bet about a week ago. They're paying it off today. If you don't stick around to make money and enjoy your Sunday morning with us and spread the word and grow this audience, well, then good news. It will be worth it just to watch two men dressed as we'll find out together in about 10 minutes.
All right. Speaking of that, let's start our show with our 2-minute drill. Cheers. I got my McGriddle. Anyone got some salt around here? Kevin, let's start that clock.
Guys,
what do you got today, Kevin?
There are some, there's a lot of double-digit dogs on the board. And if you're one of these people that believes that any given Sunday any team can win, then this may be a good week for you to start looking at the big board because you've got double-digit dogs all over the place. Starts with the Jets, plus 11 against Cincinnati. You know I've been riding with the eye of the tiger all season. Big fan of Cincy. And but think about that one. You got Miami at plus 14 against Buffalo. The lines just keep on moving north. Houston is a plus 16 dog at the Rams. And by the way, love the Rams in that one. Have never had a problem betting against Houston, no matter how big the spread is. And then Monday night, the double-digit spreads continue. The Giants plus 10 against Kansas City. And I don't know if Kansas City has proven anything to be a 10-point favorite against any team this season, even the New York Giants. I hate to say it.
Yeah, even with Patrick Mahomes there. That's crazy. But good point. My 2-minute drill. I basically want to talk about with the Jets, the Browns, the Texans, and the Cowboys. All questions around their quarterback today. Obviously, Baker Mayfield will start today against the Steelers. The Jets have Mike White as their starter. Joe Flacco is the alternative. No need to start Flacco, though. The key to this win will be their defense against your Bengals. And then the Texans. Honestly, this is the best decision the Texans have made this season. Don't throw Tyrod Taylor against Aaron Donald. Let the man rest one more week. But Dak Prescott, obviously, I know Dak better than anyone else. And if Dak is not playing, I think that's going to make the biggest difference against the Steelers today because you've got Cooper Rush. And if you've seen Hard Knocks, you know I love a salted sandwich, and you also know that their backup quarterbacks are not great. So that is the key to have Dak Prescott in this game today against the Steelers.
2 minutes. Look at all the stuff we just covered in 2 minutes. Imagine what we could do.
Hey, Kevin, quick question. We're doing one rapid-fire question. What's worse, the Jaguars or candy corn for Halloween?
Well, before I answer that, it's a loaded question because I will take none of the above if that's an option. But, you can always get us your questions during the live show. We will answer them at the end. If you've got specific props you're thinking about, places you may want to put your money, teams you're interested in, let us know. We will get to all your questions at the end with the help of our pro cappers. The answer is if I knock on a door and either a Jacksonville Jaguar or someone handing out candy corn answers, I shut the door and run in the opposite direction. They're both terrible.
That's what the parents tell you.
Yeah. In fact, I would take a razor blade and an apple over either of those options.
I'm glad you didn't get a ding for that one. Stay safe, kids.
Reference.
Stay away from the Jacksonville Jaguars and candy corn. Especially they touch them and then they throw them like, you just touched that. Get out of here. I only eat Whataburger for breakfast and lunch. All right, let's get to our six-pack segment. Welcome in Callie Bundy. No relation to Ted. That would be scary. All right, Callie, for our six-pack, we are focusing on your NFL teams and logos in a trick or treat situation. So, can we explain the trick or treat? Like, how are we doing this? Give us a little rundown here.
It's basically, I'm going to say these teams and these logos out loud, and then you guys are going to let me know if you think that it is a trick or a treat.
All right.
Does that make
It.
sense? I just want to say you guys look phenomenal, by the way, also.
Thank you.
And up until this moment, I didn't realize, how similar your hair was, Jerry and Mark.
Well, we go to the same salon. It's the Game Day salon where there's no budget to spend on it. Also, for those of you that are upset that Callie Bundy is not in a costume, she's actually a middle-aged bald man in real life. So this is an impressive costume she's put on today for us. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I like to outdo myself, It's Halloween. I go all out, Mark.
Yes, you do.
All right, guys, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, number one, who do we have?
We have the New Orleans Saints, which is very confusing. Saints in New Orleans? Come on. And they have two mascots, also very confusing. So what is even going on here? I'm not sure what this is. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
So, guys, what do you think? The New Orleans Saints, is this a trick or is this a treat?
Well, I'll start here. Anytime you give a guy a giant ass as a chin, it's a treat, I believe. So I'm going to say, if you look at that picture right there, I mean, that guy's got full-on ass chin. I don't know why we're not calling them the New Orleans ass chins. That is awesome right there. And I think that's a treat for everyone.
I'm gonna go opposite of Mark Davis as I usually do as Jerry Jones. I'm gonna say this is a trick. You put down some drinks when you're in New Orleans. When you give yourself two mascots, that's confusing. That's wasted behavior there. So I'm going, that's a trick. That's all trickery. I don't know who I'm supposed to cheer for. We're in a Superdome, and one of them's got an ass chin. No, forget it. This is all trickery. I don't want it.
I'm with you on that one, Jerry. All right. Number 2. The Los Angeles Rams. When you say it out loud, you're like, a Ram in LA? How? How is that even possible, right? Obviously, coming from the Cleveland Rams and the team move around, and then they ended up in LA, so that's how a Ram ends up in LA. But when you say it out loud, it just really doesn't make any sense to me. So, guys, trick or treat?
Well, if they were going to try to be on par with the city of Los Angeles, where I'm broadcasting from right now, they would be called the Los Angeles Gluten-Free Fad Diets. That would be the more appropriate name for the team. But that doesn't make for a good mascot. So I understand why they've gone with a ram. I think it's, once again, universally, who cares? But like everyone else in LA, that ram never ages. So good Botox on the mascot costume.
Yeah. As a pseudo Jerry Jones today, very good friends with the owner of the Rams, Stan Kroenke. So I helped give some tidbits on Jerry's World for the SoFi Stadium. So I'm all about the Rams. I'm putting money on the Rams all the time. I've got a lot of fake money here. I'm ready to play some Monopoly at some point after I finish my McGriddle.
I like his name, Rampage, by the way. Rampage is a cool
Yeah.
name for the Ram. We should mention that. Shout out Rampage. I like when the mascot's named, which is doesn't necessarily get the glory, but people that are in the know are in the know. And Rampage Ram is a really cool. A lot of people don't know his middle name is Milton, which seems strange, but Rampage Milton Ram, still awesome mascot. Don't fact check that, by the way.
Yeah. They should actually, marketing-wise, promote Rampage more. You're right. That is like a legit mascot name. That's like the one thing they have going for them. If you meet a guy on the streets,
Callie, if you meet a guy on Tinder and his name is Rampage Ram, you're probably like, I don't think I'm going to go on a date with that guy, right? It seems questionable.
I kind of like questionable.
Whoa.
Who are you? Who are you to say anything with that hair, Mark Davis? Like, that's what Rampage Ram looks like. It's that hair.
All right, moving along. Number 3, Mark, I'm very interested to hear your take on this one, the Las Vegas Raiders. So I think this is actually one of the few logos that still works in the city that it's in. Obviously, of course, originally the Oakland Raiders. What do you guys think? Mark? Or actually, let's say Mark for last. Jerry, trick or treat?
Yeah, forget Mark. What is he even doing? He's trying to move to Vegas. He's got that weird house he's building that looks like a starship or something. That being said, just because I feel uncomfortable and I don't like confrontation and I'll never give you a straight out answer, I'm going to say, yes, this is a treat. You get to spend your money. You get to hang out. You can wear whatever hair you want and still somehow be rich and successful, sort of. Not as successful as me, obviously. So I think this is a treat. I like it. I'm in. Keep it going.
It's the first smart thing you've ever said, Jerry. First smart thing Jerry's ever said. This is the greatest mascot in the history of football. Go Raiders. As you know, every time you buy a piece of merchandise, I get a little bit richer. And a lot of people think that our mascot is a pirate, but they're wrong. If you take a look at our mascot right there, that is actually my barber. We call him One-Eye Willie. That's the guy who cuts his hair every time. So I'm a huge fan, and I have to say it is a treat. It's a treat for all. And as you know, that is the coolest mascot. Universally, everyone loves. Doesn't matter. Las Vegas. I'm already working on a deal in a few years to move the team to another city because there's money there. So don't worry. This will always stay. Shout out One-Eye Willie.
I do have to say, One-Eyed Willie does whip up a mean bowl cut. You've got that right, Mark. All right, moving on. Number 4, the Cleveland Browns. So no logo because apparently they were named after their first coach, Paul Brown. So the orange and brown stripe is part of the identity. It's kind of like, what's really going on here, guys? Trick or treat?
Well, it's a trick because, you know, when you're named after the color of doo-doo, which the Browns oftentimes play like, then, of course, it's just too easy for people to talk about how the Browns are doo-doo bad. And then when they start to play well, like the beginning of this season, expectations get higher. It always seems to go, there go the Browns. It's too much of it sets you up for failure. It's almost a letdown every time, but an expected letdown. So, listen, Cleveland is a city. If I have to pick a color that sums up Cleveland, it is kind of a murky brown. That kind of sums up the vibe of Cleveland. So perfectly named team for that city. But, you know, we've come a long way from some of the greats that ran through there. And as a result, Brown, no good. I know that they have an unofficial dog mascot, I believe, but that's probably because the team was usually playing as an underdog for many, many seasons. But I call that some trickery, but also a fitting treat. If you're in Cleveland, there's nothing more of a treat than a Brown, I guess. I don't know.
To that point, as Jerry Jones speaking, I think it's such a treat because the Browns, they're going to make my team look good. Also, my favorite color is brown. It's the color of all the foods that I eat. You know, that's the color that I consume all the time. So I'm all in for the Browns. Also, I think that neutral color brown, that's like Kanye's new color. So, and he's my best friend. So big fan of the neutral tones, the color brown, every food consumption thing I eat. Who wants vegetables? You know, who wants a green? I want brown, only brown. Treat.
Jerry, all in on the brownies. I like it.
Love brownies too.
I want to cut in the 6-pack. Jumpman Lambo, we got a rapid fire Jets question. We'll get to it with all your questions. Get them to us after the 6-pack. Our cappers join us. We'll start taking the games a little more seriously. This is like a little Halloween bonus you're getting right now, but stick around. If you got a question, we will get to them at the rapid fire Q&As. All right, pick up where we left off, Callie.
Okay, number 5, Washington football team. So just literally, as we know, doesn't even have a logo right now. Apparently one is coming next year, so we have that to look forward to. I feel like this is actually a good time, though, if we've had some like suggestions to get out there. But what do you guys think? Trick or treat?
Well, I grew up in Washington. That's Kevin speaking, not Mark Davis for a moment. And let me just say that
Very confusing.
I understand that when you think about Washington, you think about the most offensive name associated with that team, and that is Daniel Snyder. So I think we need to immediately call, if you want to name the team something that will put fear into everyone, other teams, fans, even your own players, you will call that team the Washington Daniel Schneiders. That's going to be the one that's going to really anger people. Yes, the team needs a name. I was told on good authority that they had put in applications, and then there was copyright issues where they couldn't get the names they wanted, so they just went with the kind of Washington football team. But think about it. This guy's a businessman. He doesn't care about anything other than making money. I know this is the owner of a football team. So why not sell all of the old Redskins merchandise when people feel like they can't get it anymore, then sell a couple of years of Washington football team merchandise, and then know that in another year you're going to call it the Washington whatever, the Monuments, or one of the other team names that's been floating around, and then boom, you got yourself triple merchandise sales for every sucker in Washington, D.C., myself included. So unfortunately, we're all falling for it. I like the Hogettes. I mean, that was maybe the greatest little passionate fan base ever, but now it's not cool to be a guy wearing a dress with a pig snout on. So I guess you can't do that anymore.
Just disappointing. Just disappointing all around.
I'll just say this. Hey, Dan, Dan Snyder, can you call me? I think you haven't gotten my emails. Just call me. Okay, thanks.
All right. So moving along, guys. Number 6, obviously the final piece of our 6-pack, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Personally, I think this is the coolest logo in the NFL. Like, who doesn't want to be a pirate? It's awesome life all the way around. Plus, like a pirate ship in the end zone that makes cannon noises when you score.
This is a rip.
Mark, I guess you'd like to start? Trick or treat?
Yeah, I mean, it's a trick. This is a stolen Raiders logo here. They've stolen my logo and given the guy 2 eyes. That's not One-Eyed Willie over there. That's a different guy altogether. 2 eyes. Who wants to go to a barber with 2 eyes?
Mark, I'm pretty sure you said your logo wasn't a pirate. It was your barber. So it's really actually not a ripoff. Well,
let's agree to disagree on that one, Callie.
I like this. I think this is a treat, especially, I mean, look at Mark's hair. Look at Tom Brady's hair. Who has the better barber? I'm going to end with that. I mean, I'm all about and bucks. I got a lot of bucks right here. And I'm in for the Buccaneers being a pirate and a pirate ship, especially if we keep watching Tom Brady throw the championship trophy from one pirate ship to another, and everyone has anxiety over it. I'm all for it. Yeah.
Well, my hair is all natural, and Tom Brady bought his hair in Peru. So let's go ahead and get that straight.
Istanbul.
Allegedly, Mark. Allegedly.
Thank you, Callie.
All right, Callie.
Callie Bundy.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween.
Not related to Ted.
Happy Halloween.
Cheers.
Happy 6-pack.
To copy me and Kevin today. Cheers to the Jets. For those that missed
self-explanatory, right? I'm a sexy ass nun.
I'm a sexy Jets cheerleader. Obviously, was tasked to take on an embarrassing Halloween costume. So what's more embarrassing than being the point of pride for the most embarrassing franchise in the NFL? Can't get worse than this. So go Jets, but, no.
A total of none of his bets have made me money this season.
Dang.
That's why you got that whack haircut, right? You couldn't afford a better one.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's funny.
Honestly,
funny.
Kenny, if you pull that wig back a little bit, you'd have Kevin's haircut.
Yeah. I mean, now I know what I would look like if I ever went into the sisterhood.
Oh, man. All right. Make sure you send us in your questions. We'll get to those in just a bit. But we are here to talk about football and get you guys ready so you can make actual real money and not this stuff that I found at a costume store last night. Let's start with you, Danny, our cheerleader here who's cheering for not the Jets today, but for the Vikings. We're starting Vikings Cowboys nightcap.
Let's do it. Let's kick it off with Sunday Night Football primetime game here. And this one, I'm rolling with the Vikings. I got it at -2.5, but it's since moved to 3 on news that Dak Prescott's status is pretty up in the air and leaning pessimistic. He's dealing with a calf injury. And look, it would just be outright foolish for the Cowboys to start him here. They're going to have a zero resistance in the NFC East. The division is absolutely awful. And they're running away with it. So why risk a guy coming off, your franchise quarterback coming off a serious injury last season? I think that they don't play him here, and they're going to give Cooper Rush the start. Meanwhile, Vikings are at home coming off a bye, and Kirk Cousins looking to heat up right now. The Cowboys' pass defense is really bad. As great as Trayvon Diggs is and all those flashy interceptions he gives up a ton in the air. So look for Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen to have big days. I think the Vikings put up a big number and get the win here against the Cowboys without Dak Prescott. That's the prediction.
I want to give you some intel on this because I was playing golf yesterday with a guy that apparently has a direct line to people that work inside the Cowboys. He said the following. This is from his buddy who works on the medical team. Dax could play if they want to play him right now. But what I heard on the golf course on the 13th hole of Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles, California, was the following. If Dallas looks like they're off to a decent start, they may not put him in at all. However, if they feel like he needs to enter the game to get them the W, he could go in as soon as the second half. So that is something to think about if you're going to put money on this game, assuming that Dax will not be playing. Dak could be in, as a matter of fact. It could be in early, but I do not believe he will be starting based on the intel I got yesterday on the golf course.
I'm so glad that Mark Davis got the intel over the person who owns the team, Jerry Jones. But, I've got other things to do. I've got this bacon, egg, and cheese still that I have to do.
By the way, the fact, Serena, that you're not even going to eat that at the end of this, you're just going to throw it out because you got a weird allergy to eggs, is really it's a damn shame for the rest of us. That's the biggest loss of today is she's got a perfectly good Egg McMuffin that's going to go in the trash after this show.
Some may call that a sin, Kevin. I think she's going to have to go to confession after this show.
Oh, spanker. Right? Spanker, sister, spanker.
All right, Danny, let's keep it moving. We've got Niners versus, wow, this is an exciting game, Bears. And you're taking, how obvious, the under in this game.
Serena, if anything happens, when it's all said and done and I've left this earth and they write my obituary as a sports broadcaster, sports bettor, I want to be known as the man who popularized the under. And that's how I'm going to go down. This is going to be a downright disgusting game. You guys know me. I'm all about my unders. And 40.5 here, I love the under. I mean, Niners, Bears, these offenses are inept. And now there's COVID situations with the Bears. They won't have head coach Matt Nagy, which actually made me nervous about maybe the overrating. Maybe someone could coach them to a little more success on the offensive end. But these teams are dead last in so many offensive categories. They're in Soldier Field where the Bears have played to the under in all of their home games. The Bears are 6-1 to the under this season in general, and there's a bunch of wind on the field, 15-mile-per-hour wind. I think it's just going to be a gross, disgusting 19-16 kind of game, and both of them have to lean on their defenses, and that's what I'm seeing in this one. So look out for an ugly under game in this one. You know me, I'm licking my chops for those games. Under 40.5 here.
Speaking of ugly, if you're just joining us, you're not looking at the world's worst OnlyFans account. You're looking at a show called Pregaming, where we sit around. I know it can be confusing when you look around and see Danny dressed like a Walk of Shame Christina Aguilera and sister Kenny bets big. It's like everything I've ever thought about what I enjoyed is being ruined before my very eyes. This is an ugly, even Serena, even you as Jerry Jones, by far the most attractive of the bunch. So congratulations on that.
I know it's the first time Jerry Jones looks good this season. All right, we're gonna keep going. All right, we're going to Sister Kenny over here. Please bless us with some knowledge and some money today. Sister, you have the Steelers at +3.5.
Yep. The line has since moved to Steelers +4. So if you're watching the show now, congrats, you've gotten a better line. But I love the Steelers in this spot. The Browns have been riddled with injuries. They have Baker Mayfield playing with a torn labrum today. That's as ridiculous as I look right now. The Steelers coming off their bye week where they've won 5 straight games following the bye week. Gets better, though. Mike Tomlin is 40-20 against the spread as an underdog. And Big Ben, for his career, is 23-2-1 all-time against the Browns. I think they find a way to get it done today. I love the Steelers getting the points.
Sister. I actually
Preach.
don't like. I don't. What?
I said, preach, sister, preach.
I mean, look, Mike Tomlin might end up as a head coach for a college football team at some point. And I feel like I know we talked about the torn labrum, and I just think he's got like a humerus fracture in his non-throwing. It's his non-throwing shoulder. They changed the harness to keep his shoulder in place. While I am slightly concerned that Baker Mayfield is going against a guy named TJ Watt, I think with Nick Chubb back, they've got Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry all starting in today's game. At least they're going to give Baker the best shot he has. Plus, we know that Case Keenum can come in if they need to. Dearness Johnson looked good when they had no running backs. They still somehow brought up, guys who weren't playing a lot at all. And I think this matchup is going to feature like 2 of the best defensive players in the league, because we forget Myles Garrett's on the other side with the Browns, and he's leading the league with 9.5 sacks. So I just think, no, I'm in on the Browns. My favorite color. Continuing that theme
Serena,
today.
the last time you didn't agree with me, Danny ended up jumping through a table. So I feel good. I feel good about the Steelers today.
And I will say to Kenny's point,
Also,
game totals that are set real low like this one's at 43. I do like taking the underdog with the points in a game where odds makers are saying points might be at a premium. So Steelers +4.5 feels pretty nice.
Not to give the exclamation point to what Kenny had to say, but I believe the Browns have failed to cover the spread in 8 of the last 9 divisional games they've played in. So if you like trends at all, there's a lot of trends. Jesus, please get me off the full screen. That's hard to look at. For good God, just shatter your computer screen right now. I'll take the over on people that are throwing their phones out the window of their car as we do the show today. But yeah, I like what Kenny has to say about that one. It's the game. I always find these teams interesting. I think these are always closer games. Rarely, I think you could. But yes, if you're saying Pittsburgh is where the money should go, how can you argue with the none?
All right.
I agree with that.
Before I sin again, let's get to your next game, Sister Kenny. You've got the Patriots once again +4 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Have to say that out loud because we forget.
Yeah, and I promise there is no bias in this pick. It's not because I'm a Patriots fan. I just can't help but think that the Chargers are a little overrated, and the Patriots are very underrated this season. I know they're 3-4, but they could easily be 5-2, 6-1, right? The Chargers own the league's worst run defense in the whole league, whole NFL, worst, bottom of the barrel. And they're going up against a guy coaching the Patriots, Bill Belichick, who feasts on exploiting weaknesses like that in other teams. So the Chargers, their defensive scheme, they drop 2 safeties back, and they allow teams to run the ball and dink and dunk down the field, which is what the Patriots do best. So I think we're going to see a A+ game plan from Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels today. We're going to see a lot of Damian Harris, a lot of ground and pound, control the clock, keep Justin Herbert on the other side of the field. And I think the Patriots can get it done today for sure. And one last note, Belichick is 28-14-2 against the spread as an underdog. So I wouldn't fade him.
I love Kenny's breakdown there. And yeah, my favorite angle on this one is, of course, the Chargers' awful run defense. Patriots with Damian Harris just running downhill. Mac Jones was also the best play-action pass quarterback in college, best QBR in play-action passes. So when they set that up with Damian Harris running downhill, I agree with Kenny. I think the Patriots are going to call a really nice game here. Don't make Belichick a dog. The +4 is good.
Want to say thank you to Bubba, who's checking out the show for the very first time today, who wanted to say the following. You guys are very entertaining. First-time watcher. Welcome. Hopefully this becomes your new Sunday morning addiction. Bad news, we don't always look this sexy. This is an extra sexy show you're getting. It's a Halloween exclusive. Normally, you get worse versions of us. Go believe that. But today, yes, breaking down the games with a couple of cappers. Of course, we'll get to some primetime punishment. We'll find a game that we'll be gambling on. Loser will, of course, have to do something incredibly painful and or embarrassing on one of our next live shows. And as you know, if you're not already hanging out with us on Monday nights, you can catch Serena and I, usually joined by Kenny, Danny as well, breaking down the games on Instagram Live before Monday and then again before Thursday. We are pretty much locked in these rooms for the entire football season, so we hope that you join us.
I got to say, too, an hour in this wig, I've gained a tremendous amount of respect for women who just, how do you walk around with this hair all day? This is impossible.
Yeah. Wigs. I think
I'm very hot right now.
Too.
Very hot.
It's funny because, Danny, you've gained zero respect from women this last hour, so it's interesting.
Yes, this is fair. This is fair.
All right.
My game. My game.
My game. Go ahead, Kevin.
My game. You ready for this? This game is really in a costume because this game is being played in America, but it's dressed like a game that should be played in London right now. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. They're doing their best costume of a game that should be on the other side of the pond. This is an interesting one. Atlanta's favored by 3 right now. I know you're thinking you have 2 great teams. That's sarcasm, by the way. Atlanta and Carolina. I think some have argued Atlanta looks like they're getting a little bit better as the season goes on, whereas Carolina is falling apart. Sam Darnold, I think, was bench like, embarrassing, but also it's a maybe a show of something bigger. Which way will the team be going? Have they lost complete faith? Listen, I like the under in this one. I don't want to hop on the old under bandwagon with Christina Aguilera over there, but I will say the following: these teams have inept offenses. Both of them have proven to have really lousy offenses. Defense is not bad. In fact, the secondary for Carolina is pretty strong. They're only allowing, I think, like a roughly five yards a play. Their secondary is pretty good. I really think that this game could go either way because you have 2 terrible teams that don't really have a lot to win. It kind of comes down to where do you like the money? And I actually like Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to cover. I think they're favored by 3. It's at home. They've won 6 of 7 games against these 2. The under have hit 4 out of the last 5 times these teams have met. And the Carolina under, I think, is hit in the last 10 games. So the stats all lean me to believe that 46.5 is way too many points for these lousy teams. So I will take the under in this one. That is my pick this week. Under, you will be undertained, underwhelmed, and it will be under 46.5 points.
And Kevin is a regular degenerate over better, and he's going under here. A man after my own heart. Kevin, I'm riding with you. That made my show.
Please don't ride me. Don't say that in that wig.
I can't say that in this wig.
Serena, you got a game too.
Right. Yeah.
Jerry Jones.
All right.
Serena. Football
Jerry
owner.
Serena Hyde.
Hello, gentlemen, ladies, whatever we are today. I've got this Buccaneers Saints game against everything anyone's ever taught me on the show. Who likes to take the under. This game is at 48.5. I think it's an overreaction to the Saints not producing on offense last week against the Seahawks game. It's why we have Sister Kenny and a Jets cheerleader on the show. But the Buccaneers destroyed the Bears last weekend, 38-3. And the Bears went into that game with a top 10 defense in yards allowed and points allowed this season. So the Bucs, they can put up points despite good defense. And in fact, the Bucs have the third highest scoring offense behind the Cowboys, my Cowboys, obviously, and the Bills with 33 points a game. Let's not forget, Gronk is back for the Buccaneers. And for the Saints, this is Jameis Winston going against his former team for the first time at home in New Orleans. We know Jameis. He is an emotional player. He wants to throw the ball. And the Buccaneers, they've got questions in their secondary. This has the over written all over it. The Saints also added Mark Ingram. He's back on his former team. Let's take the over. Let's make some money.
A lot of over-under talk today. I like that.
I like Serena's take on that. I like the angles there. And, after a gross, low-scoring game where we had the under in Saints Seahawks, I do agree there might be a little overreaction there. I think Brady and the Bucs, as good as the Saints looked on defense against the Seahawks, they're facing Geno Smith. Brady and the Bucs, I think, could pass on them. And I agree with that Jameis Winston revenge factor game. That's a nice little angle there. This one could be more high-scoring than we think. Serena, I'm liking the take.
As a
oh my gosh, the day that he wears a cheerleader's, that's the day he agrees with the over.
Right, of course. It means nothing. You still have that Geno. You probably had a relationship with Geno when he was in New York. Is that right?
I punched him in the face.
I believe that is not true. I believe that is not true.
Listen, I was the one in the locker room who punched him in the face. That was me.
We'll get to your rapid fire Q&A questions about today's games, things happening this season. Perhaps you're still alive in your Survivor, or you're eliminated. You need us to help you out and pick a game. Whatever the case may be, whatever the question may be, you've got 3-4 people here. All of us potentially going to give you some good advice or some terrible advice. So get those questions to us. You can submit them. We will answer them in just a few moments as it pertains to your gambling. As always on the show, though, you guys, I bring you an exclusive gambling prop that you can only get right here. I mean, this is a very exciting moment because this bet is not available on all the websites. This is only available right here. And today, in honor of it being Halloween, let's give you the exclusive prop. This will be the most popular couples NFL-inspired Halloween costume that you will see walking around your neighborhood today. It is obviously Halloween. It's trick-or-treating time. This is the costume that you are most likely to see that was NFL-inspired. At 10-1, and if you've been on Twitter, you've seen a lot of these. It's the Urban Meyer and the girl from the bar costume. I mean, this has been done in ways. I've seen blow-ups, guys in wigs. It's really a very popular NFL-inspired costume. 10-1, you're going to see quite a few of those this evening. At 20-1, Scorned Lovers, the greatest story of exes ever before. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. You think they're not on the same team, that couple's costume doesn't still exist. You're wrong. You will see, especially a lot of people recreating that uncomfortable, awkward hug after the teams met up earlier this season. The only thing you need to make that costume official is fake hair from Peru like Tom Brady and a sweatshirt that you've never washed since 1987 to be Bill Belichick. Costume done. At 15-1, this is a rare couple's costume, and you probably won't see it. It's the four of us and a season 2 pickup for this show. That is not probably the couple's costume you're going to see. But if you do, let us know. We'd love to see that. And finally, at 500-1, the NFL-inspired couples costume you will most likely not see is a Miami Dolphin and a Vince Lombardi trophy. There you have it, a prop, exclusive prop you only get right here on Pregaming. Rapid-fire Q&A time. Yes, Jerry Jones, Serena Morales.
By the way, we've discussed on this show Aaron Rodgers and why he's grown out his hair. It was for a Halloween costume. I think he hinted that it was a hero of his. And so we all kind of guessed who it would be. I had guessed Nicolas Cage. I think he looked kind of similar. Maybe he was playing like Nick Cage in Con Air. But he has revealed he grew his hair out for John Wick. Thoughts?
Which I'm pretty sure if we can roll back the tape, that was my guess.
Was that your guess?
It was.
I was not even close. I had no clue.
Sister, you're lying.
That hair.
How can you lie in a nun costume? You can lie once, Kenny, just don't make it a habit.
10 Hail Marys. 10 Hail Marys, please.
Oh man,
Q&A.
was that a football
Sundays,
pun?
they're for church and football. Church and football,
That's
baby.
right. That's right.
I think I was the closest because I at least had a character in a movie.
Let's get to your questions now. Question number one, it's rapid fire Q&A time. If you got questions, we will answer them or do our best to. Will the Chiefs make the playoffs? Is that a good bet or not? I think preseason, I think you had to lay, I think it was something like minus like 2,500 if you wanted to bet that the Chiefs would make. It was like such a lock they were going to make the playoffs. That is not the case anymore. Those numbers have been shifting so much. I don't know what they are right now. Kenny, you would probably speak better to this, but like I don't think that's a bet you can take at this point in the season, at least according to me. Let's go to the actual cappers on this one. Kenny, we'll start with you.
I actually kind of like the Chiefs to make the playoffs. I think a lot of people overreacting, prisoner of the moments. They see the struggles that the Chiefs are having. They see the interceptions Patrick Mahomes is throwing. I think he's got 9 right now, but 5 or 6 of those are off dropped passes by his receivers. I look ridiculous right now. But yeah, I think the Chiefs will definitely get on a roll. I think Patrick Mahomes will start to look more like the Patrick Mahomes of old. And like that division is not, I know there's the Chargers, the Raiders look good, but the Raiders, like as the season goes on, I think losing John Gruden, I think that will play more of an effect on them, and they'll start to, fade away. The Broncos, we've already seen, they're fraudulent. So I think it comes down to the Chiefs, Chargers to win the division. And if they don't win it, I mean, they can definitely grab a wild card spot.
Yeah, I think Kenny's breakdown is awesome. And there is going to be a huge overreaction. Kevin mentioned at the beginning of the season, you're going to have to lay money down. It's going to be a favorite. Every time you guys go full screen, I cannot take myself seriously. But at this point, you might be getting plus money. I've got to check out the odds. But I totally agree with Kenny's breakdown here. If you're going to bet it now, right, at this point, while everyone is doubting Mahomes, that this is going to fuel him, if anything. So I think the Chiefs can bounce back. I mean, they'll probably pick up a win against my sorry Giants on Monday night. And that could start them in the upward direction. The division is very winnable, like Kenny said. So
yeah, but hold on. As Danny and Kenny know, confidence is key. When you're a couple of beautiful blonde women like you are today, confidence, you roll with confidence. And going into the season and last season, the Chiefs had confidence from everyone. Everyone was saying, are they the greatest team ever? Yeah. Is this the best? Now I think all the confidence is gone. So at some point, the confidence is like a key, it's an intangible, but I think it's important. When you think you're going to win the games, I think when you have that vision that you're going to go in and win every game, no matter what, and think about all of those games that the Chiefs should have lost over the past few seasons, but ended up pulling out a crazy win, and it was just Mahomes, the legend of Mahomes was growing. I think all that is gone now. So I think that now they're going like, can you count on them, talent aside, to even have that vision of like, we can win every game no matter what? Because I think that they've proven that's over and over again now that that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that, bodes well for the Chiefs is this week they play the Giants. So if you're lacking confidence and you need a get right spot, who better to play than the Giants? So I think we'll see the Chiefs turn up this week, and I think they'll start to get that swagger that you're talking that they lost. I think they'll start to get that back going forward.
Unless, Sister Kenny, they lose to the Giants or make it a very close game, which then there is no swagger. I don't know. I feel like at this point, it's blasphemy. It's a sin to say anything against the Chiefs because they've got Patrick Mahomes, who is always going to be an MVP caliber player. But if your team isn't backing you up, yes, they went to, it's like the Rams maybe not playing as well because they realized Jared Goff wasn't as a consistent quarterback as he should be. And they went to the Super Bowl a few years ago. So I just think, it's just not their year. So it's hard to go back and be a good team every single year. They're dinged up. Their wide receivers are missing, they're dropping passes, which is uncanny. But I'm also like, this ain't your year. The Chargers, I think, are a better team than the Chiefs.
You know what this reminds me a lot of? You remember a few years ago when I'm a Patriots fan, so I definitely remember when Brady was still with the Patriots. They were struggling early on in the season. And I think it was like a Sunday night or a Monday night game. They went and played the Chiefs, and they won that game. Everyone before that game was talking about, the Patriots are done. So, yeah, I think this is a good spot to buy in on the Chiefs.
Speaking of Tom Brady, then, over under to our next question. Tom Brady, now with the Buccaneers, playing 2 more seasons after this year, this current year. Is that an over/under? Danny, our cheerleader over here, are you cheering for Tom Brady to play a couple more seasons in the NFL?
Well, I think that it's certainly doable. I mean, he said as much, right? He said he'll play till 50. It's not the question of his body. He's physically ready for it. It's the question of missing time with his family, being with his kids and his wife. And that's the only thing that would keep him out of the game. But this guy, I mean, he's proven time and time again when we think he's just too old that it just doesn't matter. So I think he certainly could, but we'll have to kick it over to the Tom Brady superfan in the room, Mr. Kenny the Nun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say a ton of Hail Marys, couple Our Fathers tonight, praying that Tom Brady plays more than 2 seasons because, listen, the NFL will just never be the same once the GOAT retires. Yeah, I hope we're blessed to see Tom Brady plays till he's 50. Like, how amazing would that be, right? If the guy plays till 50? Come on.
Tom Brady
Who's the
will
oldest
retire
quarterback?
after he wins his next Super Bowl. He's going to say that's it for him. He wants to go out again. I know that's the next move. If it's this season, that will be it for Tom Brady. If it's next season, that will be it for Tom Brady. He's going to have one more Super Bowl win in him, and that will be the end for Tom Brady. Mark my words. Will that be in 1 season, 2 seasons? You think he's going to be taking the field as a starting quarterback in 2025? Kenny, is that what you're saying right now? That's crazy to fathom.
I mean, it's not likely. I'm praying. Hoping.
Who is the oldest quarterback to have a start? Is it Warren Moon? I feel like he played till he was damn near 50 himself.
Man, they got all sorts of things now to help guys like play longer. Plus, I mean, look at Tom Brady's hair. He clearly wants to look younger, So if he wants to look younger, maybe he'll play younger. Maybe he'll keep playing. Whatever that TB12 diet he has is working for him, and Gronk seems to be fine. So you got a couple players in there, you're fine. Just
quarterback George Blanda was 48. 48. We had a 48-year-old starting quarterback, George Blanda.
Good call, Kev. Good call.
There you go.
Wow.
All right, speaking of quarterbacks, let's move on to our next question. Daniel Jones, over 241.5 on Monday Night Football. Is he throwing that many yards? Oh, we've got our Jets fan over here. Yes, cheering for the Giants.
Well, funny enough, I'm actually a Giants fan, and it's been pretty brutal. But, I mean, the last few seasons, I just bet against my own team and root for a draft pick. So it's almost like a cynical way to root for the Giants and make money. But here in this one, as much as I think the Chiefs are most likely going to win this game, 10-point dogs for the Giants against the Chiefs defense who can't stop the 4 of us on the field running whatever we want. I think Danny Dimes can go over this number for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it was sort of a high-scoring, back-and-forth score-trading affair. So this number's a little too low for me. I think he can pass on this Chiefs defense who hasn't proved they can stop anything at all.
Yeah, I would lean over as well, just for the simple fact I think the Chiefs blow the doors off the Giants. Like, I know I'm on here every week saying double-digit spreads. You never really want to take the favorite. But I think this is like the spot, like I was saying a couple minutes ago, this is the Chiefs get-right spot. I think they beat the Giants by 10, 15, 20 plus even. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs go up early, and Daniel Jones is forced to just pass the ball all over the field.
I was pretty strong on Thursday night. I know it's a few days ago. No one remembers because we're all hungover today. But Thursday night, if you remember, I said take Green Bay on the money line. I said take the Packers on the money line. I was told, oh, come on, Arizona's got it this season. They're not going to lose a game. I said, look, you get plus 225 or something like that. You take Green Bay on the money line. They're going to win the game. And yes, they did, of course, win the game. I even said it would be something dramatic happening in the last 2 minutes of the game. Of course, there was that little interception that happened in the end zone at the end as Arizona was driving to take the win. The only reason I say this is because I am looking right now, and I'm going to go against the masses, and I believe that the Giants on a money line pick to win the game against the Chiefs on Monday Night Football as a 10-point underdog, where you could turn $100 into closer to $375. Woo-hoo! I love the Giants. I think you keep thinking this is the game for the Chiefs to get right. I think this is the game for the Giants to get right. And I hate the Giants, as you know, as both a Washington fan and as owner of the, in case you're still trying to figure it out, owner of the Raiders, okay? Anyone with me?
No,
on this
that's
one
very clear. It's very clear what you are. I gotta tell you.
Good, thank you.
Probably the clearest one. Oh man. All right, next question. Most passed out candy tonight in my neighborhood.
Sour Patch Kids got to be the favorite. It's got to be the favorite.
Sour Patch
Who doesn't lo-
Kid.
Who doesn't love Sour Patch Kids? That's got it.
Airheads. Those mini airheads.
Airhead. Yeah.
Airheads. I was always just
Banger.
hoping for like Kit Kats, Snickers, the classics.
Yeah.
That's all I
The
want.
Full
I
size
always loved
chocolate.
the house that passed out the king size bars. You knew they were the rich people. They always had the good stuff.
Well, I would assume Kenny, as a professional capper, if you're not handing out full-size candy bars tonight, you ain't nothing. That's the way I look at it. I mean, come on, let's. That's how. From now on, I'm only taking my gambling suggestions from people that hand out full-size candy bars. It's the only way to tell who's actually making money in this racket.
That's a good one.
And to your guys' point earlier on the show, anyone handing out candy corn, sprint in the other direction and also fade all their picks.
Yes.
You have to.
Just as you would if you saw Urban Meyer. Same reaction.
Sprint.
Yeah.
Sprint. Yes.
Sprint. I think the reason by the way, in all seriousness, guys, I know this is not something you could gamble on. I do believe that Sour Patch Kids will be the dominant candy of this year because loved by children and potheads alike. You got to find a candy that is equally enjoyed by both stoners and children. Sour Patch Kids has found that way to. And has anyone ever seen a Sour Patch mom or dad? What kind of kids are running loose? Huh? They got no parent supervision, just a bunch of Sour Patch children running around? What's up with that?
You're right. They don't have adult Sour Patch.
Nope.
It's just the kids.
It's weird. The whole thing's
man.
weird.
My mind is blown. All right, next question. Brady or Winston for more passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions? So we're just breaking down Bucs Saints for tonight or today, whatever time it is. Glorious cheerleader over here. You just made a Brady move. I don't know what that was.
I mean, we don't even have to dive into the numbers, really. Look at the two names next to each other. It's Tom Brady. I can't pick Jameis Winston over Tom Brady here. Both teams have really good run defenses, so I expect them both to, at points, stack the box heavy and try to stop that run to take away an element of the offense. But that's just going to lead to more pass attempts for both QBs. And if Brady has a good deal of attempts, he's a field general. He's going to be airing it out. I think the Saints secondary is more beatable than their run defense as well. So that's how I'm seeing it. Brady all the way on that.
Well, Winston could win one of these categories, I think. I think we can all agree, right?
Interceptions.
There you go.
Yeah,
the picks. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're gonna go ahead and say Brady wins two of the categories and Winston wins one of them, I think we all know where we're leaning on that one. But this isn't even really a question. Next question, it's rapid fire Q&A. Moving on, what do we got next? These
We're taking the Jets.
question. Jet. 10.5
Yeah.
underdogs. Bengals. You can't. Who's betting against the Bengals at all ever again? I mean, especially a team as good as Cincinnati and a team as universally bad. No offense, cheerleader, as your New York Jets. I mean, come on. How can you even do that? I love the Bengals. I love the Bengals at -14 in this one.
Oh my God! Here's another.
Yeah, the big spread should not scare you. It's the Jets with Mike White at quarterback. They just got Joe Flacco, and he's not going to be able to be active in time. I would have played it with Joe Flacco at the helm. They're so inept. There's no spread that scares me away. I see a lot of sharp bettors trying to take the Jets with the points in a number of weeks. The Patriots dropped 54 on their dome pieces last week. Like, come on now. There's nothing going right. I'll give you one Jets angle here. If you want to rock with the Jets in any sense, a player I like for player props, Michael Carter, their running back, who's been a pass-catching back. I think they're going to play from down. Mike White going to need to dink and dunk to someone close by him when he's under pressure from that Bengals offensive line. Last week, he had 8 catches for 67 yards. Take his over receptions for +130. Take his over receiving yards. I think Michael Carter can have some success, but that's about it on the Jets. Other than that, they're going to get worked.
Okay.
I'd rather they put in Joe Namath's fur coat should be quarterback for the Jets right now. They have a better chance of winning a game if they just put that thing in there.
Sister Kenny.
Imagine that. Broadway Joe making an appearance. Yeah, this is not a game I would bet, but if you were gonna bet it, I would have to take the Jets here. It's a classic spot where you have a team coming off a huge blowout win. The Bengals blow out the Ravens the week prior. The Jets just got blown out the week prior by the Patriots. So this is a classic spot where you have a team getting blown out, facing a team coming off a blowout. Everyone thinks the Bengals is easy money here. This spread should really be like 17, closer to 20 points probably. The fact that it's only 10 and a half, makes you kind of think the Jets play a good game today.
All right, next question. Let's get to these questions. We take them every Sunday before the Sunday slated games here on Pregaming Live. All right, from Tizzy Fredma 10, whatever
from
that
the 10
word is.
Come on, Serena. Tizzy from the 10.
10.
Jeez.
I'm Jerry Jones. I don't know how to read today. Best underdog money line bet. Ooh, Kevin, you had all those underdog. You were talking underdogs earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's, as I said earlier in the show, a lot of double-digit dogs. I don't know if you want to take any of them to win the game, but I mean, if you look at it just once again, you got the Jets. It's a 10.5. I saw it at 11 underdog. Miami at 14 underdog. Houston at 16 underdog. Monday Night Football, you got the Giants at 10. I just told you I like that. I like that Monday Night Football Giants at plus 10 as a money line bet if you want to make some serious money. Realistically, though, you're going to look, if you want to, clean up a little bit on a money line, you're going to look for a team that's 3-point money line underdog or something like that. So there's quite a few out there around the league. I don't know how you're feeling necessarily today. I mean, I could see maybe just because of how bad Carolina and Atlanta both are, and I could see Atlanta losing any given Sunday. Maybe you take Carolina on a money line there. I'm not sure if there's ones that jump out to you guys. It's a little added value, but I think, Kenny, you could probably speak to this better than I could. Those points, if you got a 3-point spread or a 2-point spread, oftentimes those points will end up saving you the bet a lot more than the money you would make by hitting the money line.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially when the line is around that like key number of like 3.5. Usually you'll see, look at Monday, for example. If you took the Seahawks money line, you got burned. You take the Seahawks with the points, now you're a winner. So yeah, it's definitely better to go with the spread. Especially on those low spreads, like around 3 to 4 points. Underdog that I like today is the Patriots. I talked about them earlier. I think they have the advantage in the run game. Chargers defense can't stop the run to save their life. Coaching advantage to the Patriots. I know Justin Herbert's a stud, but Mac Jones doesn't look too bad so far. So I like the Patriots today.
I think good dog shots are both the games that Kenny brought up too, as well as the Steelers. Steelers and Pats on the money line, both good dog shots. But like Kevin said, always safer taking the points, especially getting 4 there. But those are nice dog plays.
All right, dogs, let's go to our final question for today from Bubba. Oh, man, I like a Bubba. Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs winning the AFC West? Chargers all the way, but you two think that the Chiefs are somehow going to make the playoffs. So, Danny, our cheerleader, we'll start with you. You think Chargers, Raiders, or Chiefs winning the AFC West?
I'm going to go ahead and believe in the Chiefs against all odds to come back and win. I do think the Chargers are a little bit overrated, and Kenny alluded to their run defense. It's pitiful. If you can just run the rock right through them, you can open up a lot. So I think they're going to struggle with that, and I'm not ready to count the Chiefs out quite yet. Everything is going wrong for them. It's a good spot to back them on a bounce back.
To win the AFC West, I mean, right now you're getting the Chiefs at plus 210. The Chargers are even money. I think that's a great bet to take the Chiefs to win that division. They're not too far behind, and, they still have to play the Chargers one more game. So that's an easy way to, kind of overleap them.
Guys, as the man and the only guy in the room that owns one of these teams, let me just say it will be my Las Vegas Raiders. I've got, as you can see, some of the greatest coaches that have ever coached in Oakland, in Las Vegas, are currently swirling around my very expensive suit, okay? This is the memories of John Gruden, Dennis Allen. Look at this Lane Kiffin right here for us. North Turner, remember that great season where we didn't win 2 games? This is exciting. I'm an owner. The Raiders, you always got to bet on Vegas. Vegas always wins. Everyone knows that the house wins. Vegas will be winning the AFC West.
All right. Well, that does it here for our Power Hour. Kenny bets big. Danny Brasco, appreciate you both for coming on. Cheers to you. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Hash brown. Get some money.
I know they
Cheers.
warn people. I know that Serena. I know they warn people that if you have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours, you should get medical attention. But based on all of the sexiness we brought to the table on today's show, it will not be surprising to me that could go on 5-6 hours, and that's totally normal.
Right.
You just got yourself a super hot Jets cheerleader. You got a nun. All of our fetishes. Serena dressed like a man. Every one of our greatest fetishes came to life today on this live pre-gaming show. And now we have actual football to watch, which is even better.
Thank goodness. So thank you. Make sure you subscribe to the Game Day on YouTube. We're here every Monday, Thursday on Instagram, an hour before kickoff, and Sunday here for pre-gaming. So we will see you next week for Jerry Jones and Mark Davis, Serena Morales, and Kevin Klein. There's so many of us. Make some money, peeps. We'll see you next time.
Happy Halloween. Woo!